So, Devansh, it is really very nice to see you after such a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah? How you had been doing so far? I know you got a lot of certificates and honors and things like that. You've done exceptionally good in academics.
thank you.
Yeah, good to know all that. Now, tell me what you are doing in maths and what will you like to understand from me?
So mainly I want to learn more about algebra
Okay,
and how I can apply those to problem solving
very good. Okay,
and maybe a bit of introduction to a bit more geometry.
great. Sure. So, let me first have your own introduction since it has been long. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so right now I'm in eighth grade
Yeah.
and yeah, it's going all good.
Very good. So for grade 8, getting into algebra, which is basically a grade 9 curriculum course, right? And we'll actually follow GCSE curriculum for you since that is international. And that will help you in future also in many different ways. So we'll begin with algebra. That is a good point to start with, and then move on to geometry, as you said, later on. Is that clear?
Yes, that's good.
So for you in algebra, I thought we'll begin with working with equations and how to solve equations. Last week, I had shared with you basic equations, single step, multi step equations to solve equations involving fractions. Could you do them easily, or you have some issues or problems solving them?
No, I could do them easily.
That's very good. So, since you can actually solve equations, I thought I can move forward and we'll take up applications. Okay. So, I'll today take a few examples which are based on age related questions.
All
So,
right.
when we will take age, we'll actually understand how to solve a word problem. Now, age related problems could be very simple, as we can say sum of your age and your father's age is, let us say, 80. And if your father's age is, let us say, 60, what is your age, right? Kind of like this, right? I mean, not specifically your age and your father's age, the question, right? So it is very simple. You can say 80 minus 60 is 20, and that is the answer, correct? But it could be complicated also, where we may say, well, today the ratio of your father's age and your age is, let's say, oh, father's age, I'm putting at the top. So let's say father's age is twice your age. And then after how many years will the age difference reduce and the ratio will decrease to some value, let's say 3 over 4, something like this, right? That could be tricky problem. So we could have ratios in age, we could have percent in age, we could have different kinds of fractions, and we can actually make it very interesting as we move along. So I thought I'll take examples with age-related questions. So I'll share with you a screen which I have specially prepared for this half an hour session. Now, this is a Zoom session of half an hour, which can be extended by 10 minutes. So we might have to rush at some points. So
That's
at
fine.
present, I want to share with you the screen. Can you see a screen now?
No.
Okay. So let me see what happened. Let me share. Okay, so now I think you can share like this. Okay,
Oh,
now
yep,
you
I
can
can.
see the share, right?
Yes.
You can see the screen. Let me pull this thing somewhere here. There you go. So we'll talk about strategy to solve simple word problems. Now, when I say simple word problems, that means our statement in the word problem will be having actually two to maximum three conditions. Okay. So that is what simple for me will be, and for you also. So when we solve a word problem, first foremost thing is to define a variable, right? Algebra. As soon as you move from arithmetic to algebra, there is only one change, and the change is you have a variable now, correct? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, join. Come, come.
Yeah.
So, hello, who is joining us? Introduce.
My name's Ralph.
Arav,
Yeah.
what are you doing? In which grade are you?
Grade six.
Wow, that's great. So, Arav, let me ask you this question, which I asked your brother. That is, when I shared with you the solving equations, how comfortable were you? Could you solve some equations?
He hasn't seen the video on solving questions, but he's seen the
Okay.
first video.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, Araf,
Are
today's
you able to
lesson.
solve any questions?
What question?
Okay,
No,
that's
it's
fine.
okay.
That's
There's
fine.
no
Okay.
question.
So, Araf, you saw, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can solve the near equations, like the ones where something equals to something.
Perfect, perfect. So listen to us today, and wherever you can provide us answer, there will be many opportunities. Believe me, right? Provide answer to us, okay? And slowly you can actually learn. In grade six, actually, word problems are being answered very well by students, so it should not be a problem for you also to go through this exercise. Though some questions could be difficult. Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Uncle, we can keep the focus on Devansh
yeah.
and we'll judge later on if Arav is able to understand it or
That
what
is
is.
that is true. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, the questions are actually based on Devon's level of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. So Devansh, as I was saying, when you want to solve a word problem, you have to read it very carefully. As you read the word problem, you come to know these are the unknowns, and those unknowns are called variables in mathematical language. We have to associate these unknowns with the variables. Normally, we put lowercase alphabets for variables, but I prefer at times to substitute uppercase alphabets also, especially when we are putting a variable for a proper noun, a name, right? So it becomes, a meaningful. So I will use uppercase variables also in my examples, which is normally not the trend. Okay. We'll also see how to write an algebraic expression. Now, when we say algebraic expression, it really means it will have a variable for sure, but it will not have equal to sign. When I place an equal to sign, it becomes an equation. So normally, when there is a phrase in English, that phrase gets translated into an expression in mathematics. And when there is a sentence, then the sentence is translated into an equation in mathematics. Okay? So we'll split our word problem, understanding each phrase, picking that phrase as an expression, and then when we make a complete sense of the sentence, we'll write down our equation. Normally, in the equation, the conditions given in the word problem should be met. And then we will solve for what value of x is this equation true. Perfect. Now, this
Okay.
equation, when you see the equation, you cannot say that the equation will be true or false, correct? We call this as an open sentence. Open sentence means you're not very sure whether it is true or false, but you're sure for some value it could be true, right? Now, when I have said open sentence, there is also a term which is called closed sentence. Like you could say whether this statement is true or false. That means it is a closed statement. For example, if I say 4 plus 5 is 10, you know it is wrong. It is a closed statement. We know it is not true, correct?
Yes.
We know yes or no. If I say 4 plus 5 is 9, you know it is correct. So it is a closed statement. We know exactly whether it is correct or not correct, true or not true. Perfect. But if I say a plus 4 is 9, you are not very sure, right?
Yes.
A could be anything. So it is an open statement, right? So that is a very important thing to understand, especially for GCSE, where they use this word so many times. We don't use it much in Canada, though. Okay. So we'll keep this in mind. I'm not going to use this word because I'm not very familiar with it, but I thought I'll introduce you to open and close statements since it is important for you. Okay. So when we talk about algebra and place our variables, it becomes an open statement. Okay. So let me now take up examples with expressions. Since we are talking about specifically age related questions, I have taken some phrases here which are related to age. Now, this is an exercise for you. So, Devansh, participate actively to give me the answers. The question here is write an algebraic expression for each description. And now, while you're giving description, you should we have to define a variable, right? So we are
Yes.
saying let present age of Anil be A. So A, the capital A, is our variable. There are 5 questions. Question number 1. Age of Anil after 4 years. What will be the expression for this?
A plus 4.
Perfect. Half the age of Anil.
A over 2 or A times 1
Thrice.
half.
Correct. Thrice the age of Anil.
3A.
A year less than twice the age of Anil.
2A minus 1.
Beautiful. So when we say a year less than, the subject is Anil. So twice will come first and minus will come later. So you read perfectly fine. Age of Anil 5 years hence. The word hence means after.
5 years after age, after A.
Yeah, very good. So the expression will be
5 plus A.
perfect, but you'll say A plus 5. Keep the subject A before so that you don't make a mistake which you could have made in question number 4. Remember, 2A minus, right? The minus came later. Okay, so you have got 100% in this one. The next one is writing algebraic equations. So, Devansh, I would like you to read question number 6. Let the present age be Anil. You have to now write expressions I wrote, but we need equations, right? So change this to equations, right? That's a typing error. 3 times
Alright.
age of Anil is 90. So read from here and give me the answer.
3A equals to 90.
Perfect. Next one, 7.
3A plus 4 equals 100.
So read the question also. That's correct. Question 8.
So
Anil will be 50 years old after 6 years. Yes.
alright. So Anil will be 50 years old after 6 years.
Yeah, tell me.
A plus 6 equals 50.
Correct. Question number 9.
3 more than 3 more than 1/3 Anil's age is 12.
Yes.
So
Okay, Arab,
Anil
come. Just sit.
Anil over 3
Yes.
plus 3 equals 12.
Correct. Question 12. Anil will be 4 less than twice his age in 10 years.
Okay, Arab wants to try.
Yes, try.
Okay. A plus 10
Pardon? Question 10.
Yeah, question 10.
Yeah. So A plus 10 equals 4 minus 2A.
So
No,
Anil
2A
will
minus
be
4.
2A minus
okay.
4.
Devansh, can you tell me the answer?
So A plus 10 equals 2A minus 4.
So Anil will be 4 less than twice, means 2a minus 4 for his age in 10 years. So Devansh, you are correct. Do you see that? So that is how you have to do it. Beautifully done. Well, I thought I'll share some answers with you on this, but there is no need. Okay, so here is the solutions of those questions, and these are the answers, and you exactly nailed it. Perfect, right? Now, let's see how to solve word problems related to age. So I'm very confident about this part that you can definitely write down expressions and equations. And now we are going to see how do we solve the equations. So here is example number 1, which involves only one variable. Sam will be 3 times his age in 16 years. How old is he now? How will you solve this? So basically, you will define the variable Sam, right? Sam BS. So capital S for Sam, that is our variable. So we're saying Sam will be 3 times his age in 16 years. So based on this, S plus 16 is the expression which comes to your mind. And then you're trying to make your equation which says Sam will be 3 times his age. That means 3S. His age in 16 years means S plus 16. So you connect them and you write 3s equals to s plus 16. And now you bring s to the left side, take away from 3s, 2s is 16, divide by 2 and get the answer as 8. Very simple, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely simple. Now, next question I would like you to perform. Tell me how will you do this question. Can you read the question? You can actually use your paper and pen to write
Yeah.
if required. Yes.
So what is
Use the
greatest
steps.
age? Yeah, use those steps. That will be less confusing.
Define variable, write the expression, relate the situation with the equation, solve the equation, and write down your answer in a statement form.
Focus on the steps. Can you read out the steps, what you have written?
So I've done p times 2 over 3
Yes,
minus 5 equals 21.
And
correct.
that's the step.
Then
That's
solve. Yes. What is your answer?
So working that out.
Okay, figure it out. And I think what I will do in the next session is we'll have both questions for Arav and Devansh, and so they can work in parallel. So I'll
okay.
actually share two set of question sets. So he can work on one set, and he can they can work on different sets of questions.
Okay. So
So you got it? Yeah. Tell me. Tell me.
and
Yes,
Tell me.
I
Tell
got
me.
44.
Okay. Let's see what the answer is. You got right answer.
your answer is right.
Yay!
I can say exactly. Let's go.
Very good.
Good job.
Yes.
5 plus 21 would be 26, so that had to be 26. And half of that would be 13, so 13 times 3 is 39. And 39 plus 5 is 44.
Yay! I love it. I love it. That was great. Good job. Good. I like it really. Now let's move on to the next question. Right? We have got just a few more minutes to go. Next question. Now
And uncle, if you can share this question with us, I will just take Devansh through the steps.
I'll send you. I'll send you. So let's enjoy working now.
Yeah.
Right? So next question for you is Sarah is 4 years younger than Dave. The sum of their ages is 28. How old is Dave? So again, what I did was, because the solution is there, so Devansh, I would like you
Yeah.
to read the solution and explain me what have I written there.
All right, so Sarah's age is S, and
Yeah.
Dave's age is D.
Yeah.
So you've written, so Sarah's age is 4 years younger than Dave. S equals D minus 4.
Yeah.
And the second equation is S plus D is 28, which is the
Yeah.
sum of the age.
So the second statement. So what we did was that we kind of split the two statements, right, one by one, and we got two equations. Do you see that part? So that is how
Yes.
you translate. And these easy questions help us to understand the concept so that we can do difficult questions. Is that clear to you? Now, what did I
Yes.
do next? Tell me.
You combine the two equations,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
then
understand this step of combining? How did I combine it?
no, I'm not sure how you did that.
Okay, because it is S plus D, right? S is also equals to D minus 4. So instead of S, I wrote D minus 4. Do you see that part?
Oh, okay, yeah, now I understand.
This S is replaced by D minus 4 because of this. Do you get the idea? So we
Yes.
got equation in one variable, and one variable here is D, right?
Yes.
Dave's age. So now we can solve it. D minus 4 plus D is 28. 2D minus 4 is 28. Take away. Now, this is also a very important step. When we try to solve an equation, there are different methods. So one of the method is that we could add and subtract same terms on both the sides. So here, do you see, I added 4 on both the sides so that I could cancel minus 4, right?
Yes.
Well, as you learn more, you could actually just transfer it to the other side and do the needful. But at this stage, it is very important to add and subtract or multiply and divide same terms on both the sides. So once we add 4 on both the sides, that minus 4 and 4 got cancelled. We got 2D. And on the other side, 28 plus 4 is 32. So now we have to solve 2D equals to 32. I should divide by 2 on both the sides. So I divided by 2 on both the sides, cancelling that 2's, and we get d equals to 16 as our answer. We want to find how old Dave is. Dave is 16 years old. That's it. Correct?
Yes.
Now, if the question was, how old is Sarah? You could have substituted back 16 in the very first equation. And 16 minus 4, which is 12, will be Sarah's age. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, then you could also do this with single variable. This is what I wanted to tell you here. So we defined two variables in this particular case. We said let Sarah's age be S, Dave's be D, and then we worked it out. But see, Sarah is 4 years younger than Dave. So we know Sarah related with Dave. We can say let age of Dave be D. Then Sarah will be how much? D minus 4. Correct?
Yes.
Single variable you could do. Easy for you. So let Dave be D. Sarah will be 4 years younger than Dave. That means D minus 4. Then sum of their ages. Well, Sarah is D minus 4. Dave is D. Let's add them and get 28. So we get our equation which was to be solved. That equation. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Straight away. D plus D minus 4 equals to 28. So this is also a good technique to do. It becomes complicated though, as questions become difficult and difficult, this technique, writing everything in single variable, may be complicated. Perfect. So
Okay.
but in case you can do it and think like that, no harm. It can elevate your level of thinking and you can attempt the questions much faster. Is that okay?
All right. All right.
Okay, so we are good with this example. The next example here is slightly more complicated. So now, since the time will be running out, I want you to understand what we're trying to do here. Example 4 is we are involving two variables at this stage. We're saying father is 2 years less than 5 times as old as his son. If the sum of their ages is 40, find the age of each. Correct? Now, in this
Yes.
particular case, uh, it is actually easier to use two different variables. In the last case, I could have used one variable and there was a much simpler solution as you saw, correct?
Yes.
So normally father and son, mother and son, and daughter, these are very, very common examples in age, will follow the same steps. So we say father is 2 years less than 5 times. That means 5s minus 2, where s is son's age and f is father's age, correct? So you
Yes.
have a relation. And the second statement was the sum of their ages is 40. So again, you get s plus f as 40. And now you have to solve the two equations. So you understood the technique of solving. Substitute f, which is 5s minus 2 here. So you get the third equation, which is 5s minus 2 plus s equals to 40. Do you get this step?
Yes.
Focus on this step and try to understand how by substituting one equation into the other, we actually write the equation in terms of one variable and that variable can be calculated. Once we calculate the variable, then we can actually answer the question completely, correct?
All
Now
right.
in this case, we have equation in terms of s. So at the end, we'll find the value of s, which came out to be 7. You have to substitute that 7 back into your first equation to get the father's age, which is 33. So that becomes the solution of this particular question, correct? You liked it?
Yes.
Good. Now we are moving into two difficult questions. Now, what I'm trying to say here is something like this. When the questions are difficult, Arav in that case and Devansh in that case, what we try to do is we try to represent the data in a way so that we can easily understand and make the equations. Now, making a table, which I've shown here in a different color, is very helpful. So let's read the question. A man 39 years old has a 19-year-old son. So that is your current situation, present value. How many years ago was father, mixed up, 6 times as old as his son, right? So this man is definitely father because we are saying A man 39 years old has a 19-year-old son. How many years ago means you'll take away was father 6 times as old as his son. So you can make a table in that you can say, well, father's age and son's age right on the top. Presently, they are 39 and 19. That is your present age, correct? When we say
Yes.
6 years before, x years before, you take away x from each, correct?
Yes.
And then you look into the question. How many years ago was father 6 times? Father's age was 6 times as old as son. So father's age is this, which we put here, is 6 times son age. Son age is 19 minus x. We multiply that by 6 and we get our equation. Perfect.
All right.
So when there is a difficult question, the table helps. Now for you, question number 6. Read this question and make a table.
All right.
Present age of father and son is 50 and 30 respectively. In how many years from now will ratio of father and son age be 3:2?
So do I write make the table?
Yes, you can make the table, right?
Yes.
Yeah, try it. You have another 2 minutes to make the table. So, did you get it?
Yeah, I've made the table.
So, what is the second column? Second row. First row is present age. What is the second row? Read it out.
Age in X years.
Yes.
So 50 plus X and 30 plus X.
Perfect. What is the equation?
Uh, I didn't come up with the equation.
Very good. But anyway, you got the age. So ratio of these ages, so this will go on the top. That will come in the denominator, should be 3:2, means 3/2. Do you see that part? So you get
Okay,
an
yeah.
equation. You get the idea, right? That
Yes.
is how you get this equation. And this is the most complicated case which will deal with you, right? So in your level, that is the ultimate. Now, it is also difficult to solve this equation. What and how to solve it? Cross multiply. You know the technique of cross multiplication?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. So multiply by both sides. See, this 2, multiply by 2 on both sides. The 2 or 2 cancel. And that gets multiplied by 2. Do you see that?
Yes.
And this 3 gets multiplied by 30 plus x.
All right.
So you get this equation. And now that equation can be solved by you, right?
Yes.
So that is how you're going to solve it. I'll share with you these solved examples. And now I had some worksheets for you, questions to do.
Oh,
Now there
yes, that'll
are,
be good.
I think, 9 questions which you have to do. So I'll actually share this video so that you get this. I'll send you the document over. So we have a multiple choice question, but you have to really solve these to get the answer. So we have 5 questions on this particular page, as you can see. And the next worksheet is continuations, question number 6 to 10. So
All
you
right,
have
that's good.
now 6 questions on word problems. They can be solved with the help of our examples. I'll also share with you some other videos so that you have no difficulty in answering them. However,
All
if
right.
you get stuck with any question, feel free to send your solution to me, discuss with me, and I can share with you any solution or I can suggest what to do. Is that
All
clear?
right. Yes.
So that's almost the end of our session. How do you find it? I like to have your views about it.
I really liked it.
Good. So next time, do you want, is this the speed okay for you? This is the type of things okay for you?
Yes.
Perfect. So I think, Saurabh, that was perfectly fine, and they did excellent work here, solving questions. And I was pleasantly surprised for Arav giving me that answer of 44. I was thinking to make some other test paper for him, but I know now he's like, right. Okay, great. And Saurabh, thanks a lot for getting both of them connected once again. And I look forward for my visit to New Zealand soon and having, lectures or classes in person. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Bye
I
then.
thank you, Uncle. Thank you for your
Thanks.
time.
Thanks.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Bye.
Enjoy. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, you can shut down the video.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Press leave.